No. There we go. There's a job title on Tatooine, Master Squeakums, and that person's job is to climb up and lube these whirligiggers. That person's currently doing a terrible job, which is why the Whirligigger Council is currently attempting to rally a political rival to rise in the ranks of the Maintenance Guild and usurp Master Squeakums. This, by the way, is a much more interesting plot than whatever Boba Fett is trying to do.
It's all there. We'll leave the spice and take the credits back to Mos Eisley.
Do you know where you are, gentlemen?
Arrakis?
Make it through.
They shouldn't have to think about it too much. There's 3 of them and 1 of him. I mean, I know Justified over there could probably take out all 4 of the Pikes before they could get a shot off, but they don't know that.
Now load that chest and go. Considered a fine for trespassing.
Stealing. We all wanted to see the gun-shooting, rootin'-tootin' feller flip his weapon into his holster, but is now the best time? The enemy isn't gone and you just lost any advantage of having your gun drawn and ready to shoot. The pattern on this shirt was born from boredom, a ruler, and a sharp set of spurs. Tell me I'm wrong. This spice is precious and illegal, so why put it in a box that can easily be flipped open with the toe of a boot? I see we're still on a Mandalorian side quest, and yes, I've heard the fan excuses of this is a Mandalorian spinoff and blah blah blah, but here's the thing, even if that is the case, I don't recall an episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine where we spent an episode and a half with the TNG crew and never saw a single cast member from DS9. And if you want to argue that DS9 isn't a spinoff of TNG, then I'll just say I don't recall an episode of Frasier where we spent an entire episode and a half with the gang at Cheers without a single Frasier cast member in sight. I've got all day and a useless amount of spin-off TV knowledge. Do you? It's nice to see that even with these Mandalorian asides, the show hasn't forgotten its main focus. Countless scenes of characters walking.
Anyone alive?
We've been watching these ant droids build a dome for a solid 2 minutes. No, none of the audience is alive anymore. Oh, look, a Grogu is distracted by a frog cliche. New cliches are so cute when they're young. Force-feeding a child. I appreciate that Book of Boba is trying to explain the frog raining scene in Magnolia, but let's face facts. That will never make sense. And also, I'm ready to get back to Boba Fett doing... Wait, what is it exactly that he's doing on this show? Seriously, what is this show? Also, the issue with this moment is that Skywalker is trying to say focus and I will teach you how to use more power. But the message Grogu receives is very likely more power equals frog buffet.
I want to tell you about someone you remind me of a great deal. His name was Yoda. He was small like you.
He was also the same species, but for some reason creepy looking young Luke is leaving that little factoid out. Why, creepy Luke? Why? Luke appears to be moving Grogu forward so that he can keep up the walking pace. Isn't that a bit of a dick move? Let the kid walk in his own way. Why force him to move forward because you aren't willing to slow down? Force you, Luke. I made it funny.
Size matters not.
Luke, quoting Yoda, quoting my ex-college girlfriend, feels really strange in this show.
Do you remember back home?
I don't know the exact amount of time Grogu's been hanging out with Luke, but it's definitely been long enough to where I'm not buying this is the first time Luke has asked this question.
The galaxy is a dangerous place, Grogu.
Especially when your name's Grogu. There's no kid that could live that name down.
You. I didn't expect to see you here.
I didn't expect to see any of you here, but here we are on the Boba Fett and Friends Variety Hour.
Then what are you doing here?
Fan service, duh.
There's nothing now, but will someday be a great school.
And by someday, they mean later in this episode. We're not sure exactly how much time has passed because unlike other sci-fi shows, they're giving us 0 stardate indications. Mando is a dick to Grogu.
Really? That's all you got?
Shaming a child for jumping, like a child.
Come on, I want to show you something.
I mean, sure, interrupt the kid's attempted force leaping and spend the next few minutes showing off your own abilities.
I'm here at the request of Fennec Shand.
And that's all you need to know to trust my intention implicitly. Sure, there's a war about to break out, and the card was clearly concerned with my arrival, but that's okay, as long as you know that I know Fennec's name. We're all good. Boneheaded hood ornaments. We now interrupt this episode of Jedi Training Academy, interrupting this episode of The Mandalorian, interrupting this episode of Boba Fett for an episode of Cobb Vanth Space Marshal.
Where's the little guy?
Back with his own folk.
That's too bad. I guess we both lost something we were fond of.
Comparing the loss of body armor to the loss of as close to his son as Mando will probably ever have. Holy shit, this episode also has a Mandalorian walks into a bar cliche. We're playing all the hits today. I love the idea that these bones are from the dragon that was slain, but how long ago was that? Did the whole town pitch together to pick all the meat from the bone? Did they leave it in the desert long enough for it not to reek?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
I will give every sin back on my entire channel if this guy says, Twinkleberry Blue, howdy, howdy, howdy. I mean, why wear bullets around your ankles? That seems like a very dangerous place that would be jarred and bumped often. Not to mention it's the furthest distance from the gun you'd need to reload. And it's pretty annoying that the first resemblance of what I would consider to be a great scene in this series takes place with less than 10 minutes left in the penultimate episode of the season. And because this is just going to be a record that keeps on repeating, it doesn't include Boba Fett. I guess everyone wants to make sure Cobb is all right, which makes sense, but they skip right over the deputy who is, well, dead. But do they know that?
Can we take your helmets for a cleaning?
I think of all the characters in this series, these are the two I feel the worst for. They have one job and no one will let them do it. Let them clean your helmets.
Wait, you forgot your Captuna.
So Star Wars is just the Godfather now? Really looking forward to Boba waking up with a bantha head in his bed. I guess it's kind of nice we're not just ripping off Kurosawa anymore. OMG, that body armor is just, I can't resist it any longer. Remove a sin now before I change my mind.
But you may choose only one.
Luke Skywalker is the party pooper of the Star Wars universe.
Which do you choose?
Frogs. He chooses frogs.
Oh, nice shooting, Tex.
Do you know where you are, gentlemen? I'll kill 4 of you before you even clear your weapons. I can see you're the smart one.
I try to imagine a fellow smarter than myself, and then I try to think, what would he do?
I'm looking for Skywalker.
Take me to your leader.
I didn't expect to see you here.
Nobody is ready for Oscar!
And who might you be?
When a man with a .45 meets a man with a rifle, you said the man with a pistol's a dead man. Let's see if that's true.
You tell him I'm coming! And hell's coming with me, you hear?
Parkour!
Extreme!
Tell your masters this. The armies of Mordor must disband. He is to depart these lands, never to return.
Oh, old Greybeard. I have a token I was bidden to show thee.